Okay, good day, everybody. Now let's discuss the type of speeches according to manner of delivery. So last time we are done discussing the type of speeches um, according to a purpose. Now let's discuss the type of speeches according to manner of delivery. Okay, so without further without further ado, let's start our discussion. Now, before we, before we proceed to our discussion, these are the definition, or this is the definition of the manner of delivery. Okay? When we say type of speech, yes, according to manner of delivery, speech can be classified based on the manner of delivery or the way the speech is given before an audience. But let's on our first topic, first discussion about type of speech, which is according to purpose. We discuss about informative, when your purpose is to inform, entertainment when your purpose is to entertain people or to make them smile or laugh, and of course persuasive speech if your purpose is to encourage people. Okay, but now in type of speeches according to manner of delivery, so this is how you deliver the speech to the audience, to your audience. Okay, so what are the manner, what are the type of speeches? Okay, so let's start with the first one, which is manuscript speech. When we say manuscript speech, it refers to an address or discourse wherein the speaker prepares a written speech and reads it in front of an audience. So in this class, in this first type of speech, okay, meaning to say this is prepared, okay, this is prepared, meaning to say you have your script with your side, okay. So when you are doing your speech, you are holding a script. You are holding a written version of your speech and you are meant to read it in front of the crowd. Okay, so I think this is one the basic, no, the basic manner of delivery or basic type of speech with according to manner of delivery, because you are guided with your script. So this one, this is the example of what you did last time. Now, when you present your speech, wherein you deliver it while you are reading it. Okay. However, this type of speech happens when the speaker cannot afford to commit any mistake or when the script has to be read exactly as written. So in this class, in this manuscript speech, it is used to avoid mistakes, no, especially there are certain contexts or speech contexts wherein we cannot commit any mistakes on that matter, and therefore we need to use manuscript speech, okay, because we are avoiding to commit mistakes, especially if the context is really sacred or cannot let's say we cannot really commit mistake and should be perfect. Okay. Now these are the example of speech context when it comes to manuscript speech. First one is the sauna. Plus in sauna, as you all know, sauna is wherein the president of the Philippines is speaking. Okay, nationwide, nationwide. So the audiences here are nationwide, meaning marami. So meaning you cannot commit mistake because the topic here is about the people, about the Philippines, and about the implementation of something or such, or about society. Next is plenary speech. In plenary speech, this is a group of people wherein everybody is there. Now, for example, yung oath taking, wherein the board passer um, have to attend to a oath taking to ang tawag dito, to to have an oath taking with regard to their professional label, okay, which is the licensure exam, tawag dito, licensed professional teachers. Okay? And you, as a speaker on that context, on that speech context, you cannot commit mistakes because that is an oath taking, no? And therefore, you have your manuscript on your side, okay? Because that is a respectable place wherein you really cannot commit any mistake, no? Another is presentation of scientific papers in conferences. So in this one class, when we say scientific papers, this has something to do with objectivity, which means scientific papers, evidence. And we all know that we cannot mislead people to any scientific explanation, scientific evidence, or anything scientific documents. No, this has to be perfect because this is objective, no, science. Okay, especially if there are numbers or percentage. We need the manuscript on our side to make sure that we deliver it. We make sure to deliver it in a perfect manner. Okay. Now these are the tips in delivering manuscript speech. First, maintain a conversational tone. Okay, so in this one, you need to deliver your speech naturally. No? Kahit na you are reading something on your side, make sure to deliver it in a conversational tone or natural. Why? Because that is speech. Regardless of type of speeches that you use, you always make it natural when it comes to speaking. And periodically look at your audience. Okay, so meaning to say you have to look at your audience. You cannot reason out that, sir, how can we look at our audience when we are reading our manuscript? Then that's the time that you need to think what are the strategies that you need to use in order to employ the elements of speech delivery, which is eye contact is one of those. Okay, so you need to let's say you want to read a sentence. You're going to read the half of it, and then you're going to memorize the last half of the sentence just for the sake of eye contact. Okay, so that is one of the techniques that you can use to employ eye contact with your audience. And of course, use words that can be understood by the audience. So you need to use a vocabulary that levels the knowledge of the people, that levels the knowledge of the audience, no? Baka maya-maya your audiences are children, but you use high vocabulary, no? So let's say you have a very good manuscript speech writing. However, your content did not meet the level of knowledge of your audience. So meaning, nonsense lang yung inyong manuscript, inyong speech writing because it is not being understood by the audience and your speech will only work if your audience or if your audiences understood your topic. Okay? Next, read or speak with emotion and try to act with spontaneity. So in this one class, same as here, no? Maintain a conversational tone, meaning you have to speak or read with emotion. You cannot rely only on your manuscript, on your script. Okay, so make sure when you read it, it should have emotions pa rin, no? Kasi some of you when based on my observation how you deliver your speech, no? Most of you are just most of you were just reading the manuscript, your script, without emotion. So doon pa lang nag-fail na kayo doon. No? So make sure that when you read it with emotion, okay? And do it consistently. Not just in the beginning, not just in the middle, not just in conclusion. All throughout, deliver it in a natural way. Next is highlight keywords in the manuscript and emphasize them during the speech. So in this one class, if you want to highlight a specific part of your speech, so you need to emphasize it even if you are reading it. No? We have to um, we have to use different principles of speech delivery. Di ba nga yung ating first example, yung example natin, yung sa modulation, wherein there is a slow pace, and a slow pace can, ang tawag dito, in slow pacing, that is the way that you want, if you want to highlight something important on your speech, okay? So please do not only rely on your reading. Do not forget the elements of speech delivery when you are reading. Always speak naturally. Okay? So we are done in manuscript speech. Let's proceed to the memorized speech. In memorized speech class, this is refers to an address or discourse wherein the speech is committed to memory and is word for word recited from memory. So class, basically when we say memorized speech, this is a word for word recited from memory. So this is memorized. Sinasaulo siya. Okay? You are not holding anything, you are not holding manuscript, you are not holding note. All of the information that comes from your mouth comes from your brain. Okay? Because of memorization. Now, it is usually sounds mechanical and is seldom recommended. Plus, in type of speeches, this is the least that we can recommend to use. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya masyadong recommended to use. Why? Because the common mistakes here, or the common problem, is sometimes, or most of the time, we forget the lines. Okay? Di ba minsan nakakalimutan natin yung mga linya? And sometimes, it creates domino effect, no? For example, your, ang tawag dito? For example, you forgot the first line, and the second line is connected to the one that you forgot. So technically or commonly, you will also forget the second sentence. Kumbaga, your lapses will affect everything. Magkakaroon ng domino effect. That's why it is seldom recommended or not really recommended. Okay? But of course, as a speaker, this problem should be addressed very quickly or without letting the audience notice it. So if you are using memorized speech and you forget a specific line, so you need to solve it properly by using improvisation. So mag-i-improvise ka dito. Okay? Mag-i-improvise ka in swift way. Yung hindi mahalata ng mga audience mo that you change or you maneuver your speech. Okay? Yeah, next is oratorical contests require contestants to memorize their speech thoroughly. So when we say oratorical contests, excuse me, this has something to do with this has something to do with speech wherein you're going to recite something. For example, yung storytelling, no? If you're aware in storytelling, this is wherein you are going to read a story and then you're going to make words on your own based on the story, a summarization of the story that you read, and then you're going to memorize it, and then you're going to retell the story to your to the judges or to the people. Okay, that is one of the examples of memorized speech. Next one, of course, add expression in your voice. So same as manuscript, you need to add expression, emotion when you are delivering the speech because we need to sound natural. Di ba dapat natural lang yung the way we speak, no? Next, have a direct eye contact with the audience, same as manuscript. You need to have a direct contact. Okay? Kailangan you employ eye contact because that is how you connect to the people, no? That is how you connect to the people, to your audience, in order to have a gateway for them to understand your speech, no? Kasi class, when you create connection to the people, no, it will be easier for us to engage with them, no? So that is and eye contact is one of the ways on how to have a connection or to create connection. And of course, you need to try to show it with inconsistent manner. Okay, kailangan consistent siya. And of course, the third one is impromptu speech. When we say impromptu speech, a speech delivered with little or no preparation and it's neither written nor rehearsed. So usually about something one already knew or experienced. So class, when we say impromptu speech, this is on the spot. No, you are not prepared to do a speech. No, kasi nga on the spot siya. So it can be written or verbal or rehearsed. Okay, so meaning it could be written wherein you are tasked or asked to write something, okay, without preparation, and you and also rehearse such as you are given um an opportunity to speak for the people. For example, you are part of an organization and you have to speak with the people impromptu. No? So you are not prepared to say anything. But of course, class, in order to successfully deliver impromptu speech, you should have a knowledge about what you're going to, um, uh, let's say you have a knowledge from the topic that is given to you. Okay? So how? Let's say you are very good in impromptu speech. No, napakagaling mo mag-impromptu speech. However, the topic that is given to you is beyond your knowledge. No, hindi mo siya alam. You are not aware. You don't know it. You have no experience in it. So meaning, you cannot deliver an impromptu speech to an idea that does not exist yet in your brain. So kailangan you are aware of the topic before you proceed to impromptu speech. Because that prior knowledge will help you to create or to forge an idea or information that will formulate from your brain and then and will articulate to your or from your mouth. Okay. Next one is this is also used in wedding toast. 'Di ba? Yung sa mga bride, so, this is usually done during the reception part of the wedding, wherein excuse me, wherein the bride and the groom will um will say something about each other, 'di ba? Yung parang ito yung magto-toast sila. And then sometimes it is read, 'di ba? Minsan binabasa siya, but sometimes it is impromptu. Okay? And they can produce impromptu speech. Why? Because they know each other. That is the power of knowing something about the topic before the impromptu speech. Okay? And next is the birthday celebration. Okay? When you are given, when you are to deliver a speech to the birthday celebrant, for example, a best friend mo yung may birthday and you are given and tasked to have a speech about your best friend since that is her or his debut, for example. She turned 18, no, for example, ganyan. Then you're going to give a speech. You can confidently produce impromptu speech. Why? Because you know the person. Okay? So that's a crucial part of impromptu, or that's a crucial part of impromptu wherein you should have a knowledge to a certain topic that is given to you in order to produce an impromptu speech. Okay? And it is usually done wherein the speaker is asked to answer a question that is also impromptu, the question and answering portion. For example, sa mga pageants such as Miss Universe, no, wherein they are asked something that they are not aware yet, and then they will go in to answer the question impromptu without searching, without gathering information from the internet. Okay, so that is impromptu. And of course, these are the tips in delivering an impromptu speech. So each speech is a short but has an introduction, body, and conclusion. So in this one class, no, in impromptu speech, this is just short. So it can ranges or it can last only for 2 minutes to 3 minutes. However, regardless of the shortness, it should have introduction, body, and conclusion pa rin because that is the basic element of an essay or basic element of speech delivery. Okay? So since that is short, of course, only relevant is what you can say. Okay? Kailangan you have to, excuse me, you have to deliver a speech which is only the relevant about the topic. No? You are not going to elaborate something that is beyond na sa topic. No? So since this is just short, be direct to the point ang kailangan. Okay? And of course, organize your thoughts even with little preparation. So I know it's so hard to organize thoughts, especially if you are given as, an impromptu speech that is in English as a in English as a medium, no? Eh hindi naman English ang ating first language. So sometimes it makes us hard to think, no? To think um um, or to think impromptly about something that is in English as a medium of instruction. Yeah? Kasi we know what to say in Filipino, but we cannot translate it in English to our brain. Di ba nahirapan tayo i-translate sa English, but we have an idea. No? So that's the implication on impromptu as a Filipino. No? Kasi nga, English is not our first language and it makes hard for us to deliver a speech. But however, if you want to master impromptu speech, you need to organize your thoughts. You need to master articulation. You need to master translation. No? Okay, now let's have an extemporaneous speech, which is the last speech. Okay? When we say extemporaneous speech, this refers to speaking from an outline of ideas written on a note card or small sheet of paper. Okay, so meaning to say, class, when you say extemporaneous speech, this is a combination of memorized and manuscript speech, wherein there are portion of your speech that is memorized, and there are portion of your script that is note, that is taken note or tawag dito, written. Okay? So para kang may kodigo dito. Extemporaneous speech. Half is half manuscript and half memorized. Okay? Now, it says here that the speaker is given enough time to prepare the outline of one speech, unlike an impromptu speech with little or no preparation. So, unlike in impromptu speech and extemporaneous, you are given enough time to prepare the outline. Meaning, the information that you're going to write on your small card or piece of paper is just an outline, not the actual information that you gather from the internet. Okay? Meaning, outline lang. Kasi nga, kodigo mo lang naman siya, guide. Guide lang siya. Okay? You will still rely to what you've memorized. And then, your notes, because your small card, your index card, will only help you to guide you to save you from mental blocking, such like that. For example, if there are numbers, and if you are, let's say, you cannot memorize, or you barely memorize numbers, so you can use note, no, or small card to take note of the numbers, so that you would not forget those things, those piece of information. Okay. And the next one is, yan, tips. Do some research. Okay? Plus, in every type of speech, research is important, not just in extemporaneous, but all of the information, but all in type of speech. Why? Because as you still remember during the lesson, during the discussion of writing or the principles of writing speech, diba? I discussed the third principle. I think that is third principle. We're in sourcing and information. Okay, because information research is the pillar of your um it is the pillar of your speech. It is strengthen your speech by the use of research or information data. Okay, and of course, have enough practice delivering the speech to gain self-confidence. Plus, it is important that you practice beforehand, before your speech delivery. Why? Because it gain self-confidence. So how does it happen? No? How does it happen if what is the connection of speech delivery? No, I mean, what is the connection of practice delivery to gain to a self-confidence? The first thing, class, is when you master your topic, when you master your lesson, okay, it will be easier for you to produce information during the speech. No, it you would look like that you are so confident because you know what to say because you already practiced your speech delivery beforehand. Okay, so meaning when you are, for example, when you are reporting, no, and before the reporting process, you practice speech delivery, and then on the moment that you are going to report, diba? Mostly it will be easier for us to deliver to discuss or to report because we have already an idea about the topic that is given to us. Okay, so that is the power of practice. It makes things perfect. Not so perfect, but almost perfect at least. Okay, so again, we have four types of speech according to manner of delivery. The first one is manuscript speech. Second one is memorized speech. Next one is impromptu speech, and the last one is extemporaneous speech. So I hope you learned something from today's lesson, and that will be all for our lesson for today. Thank you so much.